What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We have another nice NBA slate for today. We got a pretty big slate, about 10 to 12 games today. Looking forward to it. Had another great day yesterday for our wins. We also were able to hit 350 likes on our YouTube video yesterday. So that means I'm going to be picking two people to win free VIP today. So I do this in every video. If today's video gets 250 likes, I'll pick a random comment to win a free month of VIP. And I'm going to start doing it this way, guys. If we get 500 likes, I'm going to pick two comments every day. And I don't know how long I'm going to do this. I want to test it out, see if it affects the videos, like how much it's shown and everything on YouTube. I'm not sure how their algorithm works to the T just yet, but if we can get 500 likes every day, I'll do two winners for at least the near future. So that being said, drop a like, leave a comment on the video if you want to have that chance for free VIP. Just looking at my camera, yeah, there's a cardboard piece on the wall behind me. That is my Fantasy Aces logo light, so it will be hung pretty soon. I didn't realize it was in the camera shot till just now, but yeah, if you see that, that's what that is. But let's go ahead and pick our two winners from yesterday. So the first winner is going to be for, I'm going to call you Tijo. So Tijo, send me a message on, or Tejo, I'm not sure how I would say that, man. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, but send me a message on Discord. I'll get you added. He said VIP me. So like I said, Discord is the best place to message me. If you want to get added, Ryan Fantasy Aces or Fantasy Ace, message either one of us and we'll get you in here. Picking our second winner of the day, it's going to be for Branch Moo, who said VIP me, please. Well, here you go, man. You got yourself a free month of VIP. Send me a message on Discord like I just said, and I will get you guys added for that free month. So once again, 500 likes for two winners today, and then 250 for our regular one winner if we can run the likes up. Looking at our bet tracker from yesterday. Yesterday, I profited $635.09 on my money lines. Yesterday, putting us at a total of $3,881.69 for this month so far, which is almost 4K profit on our money lines. We had another good day for player props yesterday as well, which I'll show you in a minute. Bet tracker. I'm on a big win streak right now. So for me, I did not tell two of the college basketball that were posted at like midnight, or not posted for like the late games last night, just because I didn't want to be up all night sweating. But everything else cashed. We had a Heat and Pacers spread, Heat money line with Pacers spread. So the Heat game ended up getting postponed. Pacers spread cashed, but I had $250. It ended up only paying out $60 due to that the half of the slip getting refunded. So it ended up pretty much being just a minus 300 odds parlay here, which was a $60 profit, which is okay. Had Timberwolves money line to throw $250 on it to win 178. That was a nice little win. We had Hofstra money line for college basketball, a little small team nobody really knows about, 250 to win 245 on there. And then I had an Ole Miss teaser. So I ran Ole Miss. Ace played it 7-point teaser. I played a 9-point teaser myself, so it was 250 to win 150, so the payout wasn't as good. It was just a little bit safer just in case. I did that mainly for the total because I knew the total would probably be slightly sweaty, and that ended up cashing. So our total profit over the last month and 2 weeks, or month and a week, is almost 10K on our money line, so we've been really dominating those. Looking at our wins from yesterday, here's what we had. I had Garland, Ant-Man, and Mitchell, which I gave these for the free picks. That ended up cashing. The other free slip I gave ended up being a DMP. It was, who was it? It was Brandon Miller with Tyler Hero. That one ended up being a reboot, so it saved us on the Brandon Miller chalk. Brandon Miller ended up getting ejected in the third quarter, and he was free. He had 12 PRA in the first quarter. Now, I think he finished a half with 13, but still, he was looking really good, man. I expected him to cash pretty easy in the second half, but that ejection killed us. If you look at Norman Powell, he was a reboot, obviously, so it rebooted this slip. I ended up playing the Ant-Man, 2.5 3-pointers made. I convinced myself to take it. He cashed easily, but it ended up being a reboot as well. Some of the other plays, here's the Pacers Heat play that I played. It was supposed to be $200 profit if Heat would have won. Ended up being just Pacers spread at minus 360, so very, very juiced odds there. I just did it pretty much to get even odds. Here's the Minnesota money line I ran. Here's the Hofstra money line I ran. Here is two Prizepicks slips that we've been running. The fantasy scores, 100 for 300, Siakam and Mitchell. And then the day before, we had Nurkic and Porter that cashed. Ant-Man and Randall and Garland. Then Ole Miss teaser right here, getting Ole Miss plus 10.5 in the under 59.5, 250 to win 200, which, like I said, I won like 151 on this because I ended up going with a 9-point teaser instead, which was a little bit more juiced. So overall, guys, two very good days back to back. So if you want to join the Discord is free. I'm going to start giving away, I think, a free money line every day as well in the Discord. If you guys do follow us on the Discord, or if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. It's free, like I said. If you want to get every single play that we post, Every money line, like I said, I'm almost up 10 bands in the last month and a week on just these money lines. You can get them for less than $10 a month or less than $10 a week. $8 a week if you use code NBA, and then it's $20 a month if you use code NBA for a monthly membership. It's as cheap as it's going to get, guys. Highly recommend you guys be a part of it if you want to cash with us. But that being said, let's go ahead and jump into some of these plays. So we're going to talk about these games, then we'll go over some NBA player props. So first game on the slate that we have is going to be New Orleans taking on Washington. This one's going to be in Washington. Wizards are plus 126 at home. 2.5 point spread with a 241.5 total. This is a game, guys, that could go either way, to be honest with you. I was hoping Trey would play. He's doubtful. Obviously, the Wizards trade. I think the Wizards got the best end of this deal. They got Trey Young. They gave up C.J. McCollum and a bench player, pretty much is what they gave up. So I don't think that Atlanta made a good trade at all. I do think this benefits the Wizards. Washington has 52% of the money on them covering the money line with 61% of them covering the spread. I don't know how much I like Washington money line. Like I said, I think it could go either way. If Trey Young was playing, which he's doubtful, then I was going to actually take the Wizards today money line. Right now for the Pelicans, they're missing Alvarado, missing Sadiq Bey. Herbert Jones is doubtful. Trey Murphy's questionable. So Trey Murphy worries me a little bit because he's been popping off for this team. They do have Derek Queen, Zion, Jordan Poole, Fears. I could see Poole popping off just because it's his former team. Poole can't be trusted, to be honest with you, in terms of reliability, so I'm not going to be putting money on him. But I think there's probably some value we can get on Jordan Poole today. In terms of player props that I'm looking at, possibly Poole. Fears is decent for the Pelicans. He's cashed me a few times this year. I don't play him a whole lot. Zion, it's a great matchup, man. I just don't trust Zion. Then you got Derek Queen. Derek Queen's chalked me 3 times in a row, so I can't really trust Queen. So I'm really just looking at pretty much if Murphy plays, maybe Trey Murphy, but maybe Fears or Murphy, potentially Poole on the Pelican side of things. Then Washington, I'm looking at Alex Sarr. I'm looking at Calibli possibly. I like Keyshawn George. He's good. He hasn't played since the 26th, so I don't really know what his minutes are going to look like. So that one worries me slightly a little bit. So for me, what I'm going to take is if the team stays healthy, if Trey Murphy plays, I'm probably going to end up running Pelicans. But this game could end up being a coin flip. So I'm just going to kind of wait this one out and see what happens. Like I said, there'll be some money lines in the Discord. If you're not in there, make sure you guys join. Maybe it'll be a Discord slip for this game. But that one, like I said, could go either way. Next game's going to be Magic versus Sixers. This is another game that's really tough to call. You got Orlando plus 140, a 3.5 point spread with a 226.5 total. Public betting has pretty much 50% of the money on money lines across the board for Sixers and Magic. And then 70% of the money is on Philly covering a 3.5 point spread, which is kind of crazy to me. If Embiid plays this game, which he's questionable, I think Philly has a good chance at winning because the Magic are still missing quite a few players. They're missing potentially missing Castleton. Richardson's questionable. They're missing Suggs again, and both the Wagners are going to be out for this game. They're supposed to both be coming back. Moritz and Franz are supposed to come back pretty soon. I saw something about it being this week, but obviously I don't think that's going to happen, but maybe next week. So when they come back, obviously it's going to be a big pickup for this Orlando team. This Magic team has been very hard to beat at home. They have been very good this season at home. Philly has looked good on the road. They just went to the road in New York, beat the Knicks, they beat Dallas, and they beat Memphis in back-to-back games. Overall, both teams have looked good in their last 4 or 5 games, look decent anyways. Magic just beat Brooklyn. They struggle versus Brooklyn. They tend to keep it kind of competitive with tougher teams, though, so I think they'll keep this game competitive. If Embiid plays, I'm leaning the Sixers. If Embiid sits, man, I'm honestly kind of leading the Magic. I think Embiid's going to be a big pickup for the Sixers team versus this Magic team. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for in terms of injury news. Third game on the slate, Raptors, Celtics. This is tough because the Raptors are missing a lot of players. So I'm kind of running with Boston here. But Boston at minus 300 versus Toronto is still not a great play in my opinion because you got Boston minus 286, a 9.5 point spread with a 222.5 total. This game can get kind of ugly. 64% of the money's on Boston money line, 64% on Boston covering the spread as well. Looking at these two teams, let's look at injuries. So Scotty Barnes questionable, Brandon Ingram questionable, Jakob Poeltl is out, and then Hepburn is also out. So Brandon Ingram and Barnes are two massive players for this team. If they sit, RJ and Quickly are going to be great for player props, in my opinion, as long as the game stays competitive. Looking at Boston, Harper's questionable. That's really, they're not missing anything for the most part, anything different than usual. So Pritchard, White, Brown, Hauser, and Cada. Looking here, I like in this game, honestly, I know Jaylen Brown's chalked us a couple times in the last few games. I like Jaylen Brown. I think that he's going to have a good game tonight. He's boosted on parlay play for 24.5 points. I've been looking at that. I'm probably going to end up playing it. But I really want to see what happens in terms of the Toronto side of things, injury news, because both teams have looked good, man. Toronto's won 5 of their last 6 games. Same thing for the Celtics. They've won 4 of their last 5. They've won 8 of their last 10. So they've been killing it. Both teams have looked really good lately. I think the Celtics win if Ingram and Barnes both sit for sure. I think that you're getting some. I don't think Toronto's going to win with their bench players. But if Ingram and Barnes play, then I think Toronto definitely has a chance to win this game, and they might be, depending on what the odds are. If you lock them in right now at plus 290, you might be getting good value. And spread, for sure, if you ran a teaser on the spread at like plus 14.5, I think Toronto would cover that. So anyways, we'll see what happens with injuries before. A lot of injuries today, so it's hard for me to pick a team when you got some of these key players that could potentially be out or could potentially play, because that changes the game completely. Another one with injury news that we've got to worry about is Clippers with Nets. So the Nets right now are plus 146, 3.5 point spread, 215.5 total. Very low scoring game here. 77% of the money is on the Clippers. 57% is on the Clippers covering the spread. When you look at these teams, the Clippers have looked dominant as of their last 10 games. What is this? 7 of their last 9 they've won. You look at the Nets have won 1 of their last 5, so they've looked a little bit weaker. A lot of these games they've kept, not even that close. They lost to Orlando by a point, but these games were kind of blowouts. If you look at the Clippers, they're missing Bradley Beal for the rest of the season. Bogdanovich is still out. Derek Jones is still out. Kawhi Leonard is questionable. Brooklyn is missing Saraf and Highsmith, obviously. And then you got Michael Porter Jr., who is probable, should play. He is our wagon. Obviously, Porter Jr. is this Brooklyn team, especially when Cam Thomas sits. So you got Cam Thomas and you got Michael Porter Jr., pretty much the only two that I even look for in Brooklyn anymore. Claxton sold me too many times. I don't trust Clowney. That's really all I look for majority of the time for Brooklyn. Porter's cashed me probably 15 games in a row. He has been a complete wagon. I'll continue to play him until he chalks 4 or 5 times in a row, and then I'll still be considering playing him because he's always good for 30-plus PRA. Looking at the Clippers side of things, if Kawhi sits, a lot of uses for Zubac and for Harden, I think those are the two that I'm going to be paying attention to. If Kawhi sits, Brooklyn has a good chance at winning this game. I think they can, especially it being at home. You could run the Nets, plus 146. I don't like the value here. If Kawhi plays, I'm running the Clippers. But I do think there's some potential here if Kawhi sits to get Brooklyn at plus 146, and it's not that bad of a bet. So that's my personal opinion on that one. Next game on the slate, OKC minus 178. That's crazy when you look at the game they're playing in Memphis versus the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies have not been a strong team. OKC struggled their last few games. It is a 5.5 spread with a 228.5 total. Majority of the money is still on OKC. Let's talk about why OKC's odds are so close to even. They are missing so many players. Caruso questionable. SGA is out. Isaiah Hartenstein is out. Holmgren is out. Topic is out. Wallace is out. Jalen Williams is still out. Memphis is missing Brandon Clark. Coward is questionable. Zach Edey's out. Ty Jerome. Ja Morant is out. Scottie Pippen is out. Vince Williams is questionable. Both these teams are just beat and battered for this game. And it's a good game for a lot of these OKC players to be sitting because it's not that tough of a game, to be honest with you. The Grizzlies have not looked good at all this season. They can barely win a game, let's be honest. They've had some good wins, but other than that, man, most of the games they've really just looked very lackluster. But they've been dealing with a lot of injuries. This game could go either way, I'm going to be honest with you. I do think that this OKC bench is better than the Grizzlies half bench, half starters that they have going on here. So I'm kind of leaning OKC, but the way they've been playing, man, I don't trust this enough to play it. I'm not going to have any money on this game in terms of money line for sure. But just for saying, give me OKC, I guess. Next game on the slate is actually a banger, man. We got Suns versus Knicks in Phoenix. Phoenix is plus 110, 1.5 point spread, 228.5 total. 50-50 split on the money line, but 73% on Phoenix getting 1.5. I think that's a little bit crazy. The Suns have looked great lately. They've won, 7 of their last 9 games. They've looked very strong, whereas the Knicks have only won 1 of their last 5, but they come off a big win versus the Clippers their last game. They lost a blowout loss versus Detroit the game before that, got beat by Philly, got beat by Atlanta, got beat by the Spurs. Struggled in some of these games, specifically on the road. At home, this Knicks team has been pretty dang strong. Suns team at home has been strong as well. Look at the Suns at home. They're on 4 straight wins. They have a 71% win rate at home this season. Looking at injuries, Knicks missing Josh Hart and Landry still. Phoenix missing Jamari and Jalen Green still. That's really the only injuries we have. So both teams pretty much healthy. Not much going on here. I think this game's going to be competitive. Now, You guys know how I feel about Phoenix. Phoenix is one of those teams I can never get myself to trust them. I trusted them one game a couple days ago. They cashed me out. Do I trust them versus the Knicks? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I think I have to run with Phoenix or with New York here. I think I got to take the Knicks. In terms of rest, let's see and make sure. When's the last time both teams played on the 7th? So yeah, they're the same rest. Obviously, it's a road game for the Knicks. Phoenix is going to have the advantage here. The teams looked good. Maybe Phoenix is the way to go for plus money, but right now I'm looking at the New York. I'm probably going to run the Knicks money line. That's probably what I'm going for. Not really much more looking at this game other than some player props. I do think Towns is doable for a double-double. I do think Jalen Brunson points is always a good line to run. 25 is the number that always cashes for me. Booker's obviously probably going to be good here. Dylan Brooks, potentially. I don't trust Dylan Brooks too often, but he has looked good in a lot of games this season. So give me the Knicks. That's all I'm going to say. Next game's Hawks versus Nuggets. So Hawks are plus 108 underdogs on the road, 1.5 point spread, 235.5 total. Looking at the Nuggets team, you got 81% of the money on them with 57% on them covering a 1.5 point spread. Nuggets have won back-to-back games, dealing with tons of injuries. You look at Atlanta, they're missing Trae Young now, but they've honestly looked better this season without Trae Young than they have with him, so you can't really blame them. They did get Corey Kispert from the Wizards, so Kispert is doubtful, not playing. CJ McCollum is doubtful, not going to be playing, so we ain't got to worry about that. Looking at Denver, Tamar Bates is still out. Brown is probable. Bruce Brown is probable. Aaron Gordon is probable. Cam Johnson is out. Nikola Jokic is out. Spencer Jones is questionable. Jamal Murray is probable. Joe Val is out. Missing half their freaking team, or half their team is on the list anyway. Most of them are probable, or half of them are probable. But still, this team being probable, I'm running with I want to run with this Atlanta team. I'm going to be honest with you. On the road versus the Nuggets, but that's not a confident play. It's even odds. I think that we can get some they have a good chance at winning this game. Nuggets with 81% of the money on them, they're definitely going to go on my bet tracker list, but without Jokic, man, this Nuggets team they're just not the same. They're just not the same. It's kind of like the Kings without Sabonis. They're just not the same, man. The Kings are competitive with Sabonis. Without him, they're gone. I'm not saying the Nuggets aren't competitive. They've won 2 games in a row. And I'm not saying the Nuggets can't come out here and beat the Hawks at home, because they for sure can. They're 25-12. They're a very, very strong team when they're fully healthy. One of the best teams in the league by far. But this Nuggets team without Jokic I struggle to trust them, especially with some of the players that have been hurt all season playing. So the chemistry may not be the same as it is when they're playing together. And like I said, 2 wins in a row. They just beat Boston and they beat the Sixers. That's 2 tough teams that they beat. So can't count them out for sure. I don't know where I'm going to go with this game yet. I'm going to talk to my dad. My dad is ace, by the way. I'm going to see where his head's out on this one. See if we can come to an agreement on this game, because I'm really at a loss here. I'm kind of looking at Atlanta, though. That's kind of where my head's leaning right now. So we'll see. Next game, Trailblazers versus Rockets. Portland plus 216 underdogs at home. 6.5 spread, 220.5 total. Majority of the money, for good reason, probably on Houston. Now, Houston is still missing Sengun. Van Vliet is out. Isaiah Crawford is out. Portland missing Jeremy Grant, Henderson, Drew Holiday doubtful. Dame obviously out. Chris Murray, Thibault, Blake Wesley, all out. So a lot of players missing for Portland. Without Sengun, Houston scares me. They just got beat by Portland in their last game, 102-103, and that was in Portland. They're playing in Portland again. So another road game for Portland. Can they come out here and beat them today? I think that they have a chance, to be honest with you. Portland at plus 200 is what worries me. Is you can get some good value on Portland and a team they just beat in the same place. So Portland hasn't looked bad lately. Plus 216 is pretty good value for a team here. I do think the Rockets are the better team even without Sengun. In majority of the games, I think they're going to win, which is why I think these 2 teams playing again, like Houston kind of knows what they're looking for, and I think the Rockets are going to make some adjustments and come out here and win. But we'll see, man. Plus 216 is hard to turn away on Portland, but give me the Rockets to win this game. Next game is the Warriors versus Kings, minus 600 for the Warriors. This game's unplayable in terms of money lines. Kings look horrendous. Warriors look great. Missing Isaiah Stevens, Keegan Murray, and Sabonis. Golden State has Cryer questionable. Seth Curry still out, and then Gary Payton is probable. So for me, how can you ever take the Kings here in terms of, unless you're just playing it for fun to see if you can get a good upset at plus 600? I think that's obviously, realistically, any team can upset in the NBA. We know how that goes. If you want to run the Kings for plus 600, I'm not calling anybody dumb for running any underdog for plus 600 odds. You got 6-1 winning odds here. But Golden State's definitely the better team. Golden State wins 5 out of 6 versus the Sacramento team, and that's why I don't trust taking the Kings here unless you're just willing to donate a little bit of money. So next game is going to be Bucks versus Lakers. Lakers are minus 150 at home, 3.5 spread, 229.5 total. 70% of the money's on Lakers money line, 65% on Lakers covering the spread. When you look at these two teams, Lakers have won 3 of their last 4. That's missing Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura. Rui is questionable. LeBron is questionable. AR is still out. Looking at Milwaukee, Praetorian Prince is the only one out. So LeBron sitting for this Lakers team with AR being out is huge. I don't think that they're going to win this game if LeBron and Rui both sit. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm running Milwaukee if that happens. I'm waiting for the injury news on this. It needs to get closer to game time. I don't lock in a lot of my slips till I figure out these injuries, because these injuries can change a game completely. It can make games become blowouts. It can make games become competitive if they were supposed to be a blowout. So injuries are the one thing you guys need to pay attention to. Do not just start locking in slips early because you think you're getting better value. Like, well, I got to get these lines before they bump. They bump for a reason. And they might bump a little bit if a player gets ruled out for sure. Like Doncic, if Rui and LeBron both get ruled out, his lines probably go up. But regardless, if you run his, let's say we run his PRA at 50 and they both get ruled in, that's going to take away from him as well. So you got to look at it from both perspectives. So either way, I think this game's going to be competitive. I think it's a good game to run some props. I like Giannis here, obviously, versus the Lakers. Doncic, if both other players sit, Rui and LeBron's going to be a good play. So it really just depends. I like Ayton for rebounds in that game as well, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But that's really all I got for this slate, guys. I know there's a ton of injury news we got to pay attention to before locking in any slips. I do have some player props that I don't think it's going to matter if these players play or not, and we're gonna lock those in live on video. So 2 slips we're going to be giving away for free. Once again, guys, if you do want to get a free month of VIP, you can sign up for any partnered app down in the description. Links are all down in the description. There's 7 full apps. You can get up to 7 full months of VIP for free. They do stack. You send me a screenshot for each one you sign up for, and I'll give you a free month for each one you sign up for. The ones I push a lot right now, Parlay Play is one of my favorite apps. Parlay Play will give you $5 for free when you sign up. They will also give you a deposit match up to $100, and you also get to tell every single play that I personally play on Parlay Play. So this is one of the apps that I use the most. Highly recommend everybody have it. If you don't, and link for that's down in the description, code Fantasy Aces. You can do that with any of the apps. Like I said, Chalkboard's another one. One more app that I am using right now is called Upside Tools. Upside Tools is an optimizer. It is a tool that really just, it compares value across books. And I'm going to give you an example here. Caleb Williams under 19 pass completions. 58.4% chance to hit on Prizepicks. It is minus 120, minus 130, minus 110, minus 125, and these lines are at 18.5. So you're getting very good value on Prizepicks, which is why this percent to hit is up there. It's going to do this for every single app. You can click the app you want. You can click the league you want, which sport you want to play in. You can do it for money lines. You can do it for all these things. If you guys want to try this out for free, there's a 5-day free trial link down in the description, and you can get 25% off your first month if you want to give it a try. It's Upside Tools. Link is in the description. So let's jump into these picks, guys. So the first pick that I have for today is going to be ran over on Prizepicks. So the better value is going to be on Prizepicks for this one. You can't play this one on Parlay Play just yet. I'm going to show you guys something. So Michael Porter Jr. is the play that I'm looking for. I'm looking at his PRA. The way Parlay Play does this, as you can see, there is a gap right now between 29.5 and 34.5, 34.5 that you can't take. So pretty much 5 points that you can't take there. Prizepicks will give you like 2 other ones, like 32.5 and 33.5 maybe. But Parlay Play towards closer to the games will give you every single one of these lines. So if there is a line that you want that Parlay Play does not have and other apps do, if you wait till closer to game time, all those props will be on the board. So 29, 20, 30, 31.5, 32.5, and 33.5 will be on the board later for Michael Porter Jr. And that's the lines I'm looking at. I'm looking at 31.5, 32.5, potentially 33.5. I don't really want to go any higher than that because it is an elevated line because he's been playing so well. But if you get him on Prizepicks, Porter Jr., 32.5 PRA, that's what I'm looking at. So I'm looking for 31.5 to 32.5 is really the play that I'm looking for, and I cannot spell. So Michael Porter Jr., points, rebounds, and assists. We have researched this so much in the last 2 months that it doesn't even matter. You guys probably have him memorized. He's cashed 9 of his last 10 games, cashed at 75% this season. Head-to-head, he went under every game versus the Clippers, but he has no games this season. He played for the Nuggets last year. His usage for the Nuggets is obviously way down compared to what it is for Brooklyn. He's playing 33 minutes per game. Look at his PRA, guys. He's averaging 37 PRA per game on the season. Last 20, he's averaging 38, 80% hit rate. It's not a great matchup versus the Clippers, but if you look at the Clippers to the small forward position, they do give up 26 in the league in terms of points. So they give up a lot of points to the small forward position. I'm expecting them to ball out today in a game that they can win versus the Clippers. So give me Michael Porter Jr. There's not much more that needs to be said. If you don't like him, you can fade him. But 32.5 is too low in my opinion, and I'm willing to give him another chance here tonight. So that's pick number 1, and I'm going to be pairing him with our man Sarr. So I'm taking him with Alex Sarr. I'm taking Sarr for 27.5 PRA, which you also right now cannot get on parlay play. It will be there later. So this is why I'm playing it on Prizepicks. Sarr has not looked amazing lately. 5 of his last 10 he's cashed it. Obviously, his minutes in some of these games are a little bit lower. He's getting around 26.6 minutes per game, around 28 per game on the season. Now, you got to understand, guys, they just got rid of C.J. McCollum. They got rid of Corey Kispert. Both those players are gone. Trae Young is doubtful, probably not going to play. Cam Whitmore is still out. These other players are going to have to step it up, man. So you got Keyshawn George, who has been out, who is back. I've already talked about that. I think Keyshawn George could have a good game, but I'm worried about his minutes. Kalibli could pop off, Middleton could pop off, or Sarr could pop off. He's one of these guys that's going to step it up. I think Alex Sarr is going to be that guy versus this Pelicans team. Pelicans have one of the worst defenses in the league. Go to the center position. They have pretty much the worst defense overall to centers. 30th in assists, 29th in rebounds, and 28th in points. So terrible, terrible defense. Head-to-head, Sarr has looked great versus New Orleans. Both of these are from last season. So I'm expecting nothing different tonight. Give me Alex Sarr for 28 PRA. He's chalked me once in the past on this same line, but I do think he's going to cash me. So Alex Sarr, 27.5, it should be a 1.9x. So yeah, this is pretty much a double up that you can run on Prizepicks if you want to play this one right now. So that's what I am going to be running. First or second slip of the day, third pick we're going to run is going to be for our man Jalen Brunson. I've told you guys Brunson for 25 points has kind of been the line for me. Brunson cashes this line pretty much every time. I'm not saying he's going to cash this time, but when he's cashing 80% of games for me, it's really hard not to trust him. A lot of these games he's got lucky. He hit 25 in that game. This game he hit 24. That one was unlucky. On the season, he's cashed it 77% of times. He's averaging 29 points per game. Head-to-head versus Phoenix, he's cashed one of his last 2. Both are from last season. He has no head-to-head data from this season. This game this season should be close. If you look at Phoenix to point guards, give up 23rd in the league in terms of points allowed, getting up 27 points per game to the point guard position. Brunson is putting up over 20 field goal attempts per game. He's taking massive amounts of shot volume. In a game like that, man, you can't not take a player like Brunson. So 25 points is hard for me to even look at fading in this kind of game. So give me Brunson for 25. Who did I pair Brunson with for the final slip? I ended up pairing Brunson with our man DeAndre Ayton. So this ended up being a boost over on parlay play. 7.5 rebounds. It's going to be the best place to take it on parlay play, I promise, for value, unless something changes. I've checked pretty much every single app already. So DeAndre Ayton, 7.5 boards. He's cashed 68% of games. Now, remember, LeBron and Rui are potentially out today. That's huge. They're going to need Ayton's size versus the Bucks. The Bucks are going to come out here and dominate them if they do not have Ayton to get some boards. Ayton has looked good head-to-head versus the Bucks. He's always done good, man. 3 straight games, he's had 10-plus rebounds. 12.5 or 12.3 rebounds across 3 games on average. One game this season, he had 10. So 8 boards is nothing in terms of a guy like Ayton. He should be able to get that every single game. Some of these games where he's getting 5 and 6 is kind of ridiculous, but DeAndre Ayton for 8 boards, I mean, it's hard not to take him for a boosted prop when they're paying you a 1.45x. So this gives you a 1.94. We're going to lock it in, 250 to win 485. Locked in. We're going to go to track picks and show that it is locked in live. So Jalen Brunson, DeAndre Ayton, 250 for 485. And then Michael Porter Jr. and Alex Sarr on Prizepicks. So those are the 2 slips I'm running, guys. Lock them in if you like them. Fade them if you don't. If you guys want to join the Discord, like I said, links in the description. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video.